the wall, we're going to transform, we're going to get the lot off. This is all part of the services. This would be a service wall, there'll be electrics on here, there'll be all sorts going on this bit. So it's another important part of the services. And then we've got the ceiling to strip down for all the cables, wires, clips, anything what's on there, anything at all is going. But we're going to start with this. In fact, start with the charger. Knackered screw. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Well, slowly we're getting the wall stripped down, but I need to really move this now, get over to this side so I can get some power, because I think we'll have to use a heat gun with this. This has been bonded on. It looks like bond to me anyway. Probably an adhesive of some form, probably a contact adhesive, so a bit of heat and that should come off. But slowly the cables are coming out, and they'll end up in that little storage area over here shortly. But this is the wall we need. We need this entire wall along here, completely clear. Right, let's crack on. We'll have the diesel tank off. There we go. So, we need some power. So this board needs to go back over here. Once this is off, basically we're going to have to look at rerouting some of these cables through, or taking something through that way. Okay. Bingo. Lovely. We will have to disconnect this main cable at some point and bring it through here, like we will do with the plugs and stuff, and then but we'll do that in a little while. Right, I just took this off, and originally that was here. You can see where it was here, but then they've moved it over here, and then they put the switch here. I think we need to be thinking more here, and then we're cutting a switch, cutting a box just here, and then instead of having little strips of wood, we channel down this bit here, just on the side. We channel that down and come into our box, which will be cut into the wall. It's getting a little bit dark in here now, so we do need to get this power swapped over. So we need to get this lead routed, pull back, pull through in another part of above the lower section. So we just disconnect this. There's no power on this at all. It's completely unplugged. It's completely safe. We've checked it. It's went in all through here. You have to block them up, put some wood behind that and do some filling. This is the bit I'm looking at, a bit concerned. It's just a terrible bodge job, really bodge job. They've just used some crap wood to fill that in. It's just a terrible cut. Look at it. Oh well, stick it on the list. Right, so basically, we got round here, in there, we need to push them through at the bottom. Well, this is all the stuff we pulled through. So, what I'm hoping, oh, my head, what I'm hoping is this plug will reach, I'll put it over here for a minute, this plug will reach now. We'll go over the boat later and oh, but the cable tie, I'm such a tidy person. Terrible. What did I do that for? No cutters nearby. This one's got to go through. Oh God. No, it's the wrong end. This one has got to go through. Oh dear. A little cable tie though. This reminds me of when I was ripping all this out. I just put it all back and now I'm taking my own stuff. There's our power lead. There's one plug. Then we have another plug here. Okay. It's only a little cable tie. We've got that plug there. That plug there, that's all we need. And then we've got our cable here, which is our main power, coming into the boat. And then all this here, this is all to do with the heater, which we're not going to be connecting up just yet. I'm actually thinking about, when I do the heater, to do a semi-permanent fixing for it into the cabins, because basically I don't want to keep on moving it around, and once the battery ends up in the battery bay, whatever one I use either side, then I can't see a problem with it just staying there until the engine's going. Right, this is just all stored toilet pipe and everything else. It's all going to be nice and new. Now, power on. Now, plugs. That one will fit. This one won't. I know it won't. This one's going to be an extension lead for now. There's only one way this is coming off. I'm trying a heat gun. It's going to be absolutely brute force. And I don't know, it's just going to take, I'm going to let you watch on this for an hour. But it's got to come off. With that, while we're making all this mess, we might as well start thinking about where the switch is going to go, because before we put this switch in, we need to router out a box and a route for the cable, because once the boards go on, we want to have a route into our cable, into our box, up into this ceiling point and up to this panel. So that's got to go in. Little change of plan going on. I was going to put the electric board here, but I was thinking to myself, you know what, that's a stupid idea. So I've got space behind where the bed and couch will be in the panels on this side of the boat. Actually, I can put the panels behind things with access panels, so that leaves this space free, because I was thinking, when you sleep in this boat, or if you're sitting, this boat will always sit slightly lower to the rear. So you're always going to sleep up this end once it's a bed, and you'll probably sit in this corner once it's a room. So you don't want a big box sitting here. And it's obviously they've had something here before, which we don't want. So we're going to go there. We'll talk about it later. But the first thing I want to do now is I want to put one panel here, just cut it ready. It's going to be a patchwork quilt, this one, because I want to put this panel in, just tack it on and cut the box ready for the switch. And then we can put the channels in for the cables. So let's do that. Let's get that panel up in position just for now, so we can move on. Right. This board, this is going to be a veneered wall. So we're just going to use any boards we've got to bring this wall to a nice finish, and then we'll treat the bottom of the wall with some wood treatment or something, just to stop any damp or anything coming up. But basically, if we said there for the switch, if you're standing here or sitting here, I think that would be a good place. So we try and keep it as close as possible to this, and then we use a router. We'll cut the box out of this one, and then we should leave an indent below where we need to take that into 16mm, and then we take one more down to where the box is going, and this cable will have to go in before this board. That's the plan. Okay, we've got a chase in here for the switch. So that's in here, that will go down behind the board. I've also marked on the wall a little X here, because we want a wall light. That will go there, so we want a wall light on the other side as well. So that's the bit I'm going to do next. I'll take a run down here, and just for a cable, it'll be a double switch. Down lights, wall lights. We'll have the wall lights on the switch. On the switch. Okay, I think what we do, we let that dry, have a little bit of tidy up, and then we'll put some wires in. We might as well put them in now, and then we can get at least one board on today. Okay, so we have our wiring route. From here, we come up through the loops, and we take them down to where we want them. Okay, let's sort some cable out. Okay, so this is a loop wire, so we know this is the loop. This one will lead over to the next switch. So that's what I come into this switch here. So now we just want the loop to continue round and back down into our little section here. So the next one will come along. Literally, this is where our 12 volts will come through. So we'll have a junction here for our 12 volt line, or 12 volt supplies, because remember we're going to have USBs as well, not just lights. So that will come through from the bottom through Copex. It will come up. That will be our junction there. So our next cable is coming from here straight along, straight down to there, and then we just got to get power to it at some point. Okay, next one. I'm using a lot of the original wires, what came out of this boat in the first place. So that just saves a heap of cash, to be honest. And if you might notice also, what I'm doing is I'm not tacking the cables, because I want to pull more stuff in, maybe, I don't know. But the thing is, this could be a moving vessel. You want a bit of movement here. So little loops coming into where they're going to is absolutely fine. And here we go, we've got plenty there. Plenty. Okay, so there we go. So we've got them here. Take this one down here. That will obviously go into our chases in the end. Make sure it's all good nick. I'll do my negatives at the switches. You'll probably find that on most boats, to be honest. So from here, okay, so I'll give it a little bit more. There you go. That will sit in here like that when that board goes up. Okay, now we know this is the switch wire. What I'll do with switch wire, just for now, I nip them. So that's a switch wire. It doesn't matter. It'll get the wrong way around. I can sort that out on the day. As long as I know that's the switch wire and they're the loops, as long as all my loops don't have any snips, no nips, no marks, they're a loop. And if this was a 65 watt USB, be a slightly thicker cable. So it's sort of like reading the cables as you go, but they will be drawn to the boat. We've got two switch wires, two loops. One of these is a switch, one is a loop. Switch wire for the wall light, and then we have our loop wire going down to where our 12 volt connection panel will be. And that then saves all this cable, because we can come into the bottom through Copex and go straight into the boat, or straight through there, straight up to the fuse board. The cable's in place. Just a tiny little bit, I've used just a tiny little bit of contact just to hold them in, but just to keep them there. Now I'm happy with them. Not all the way up, just enough just to hold it. Remember, we've got to put some bonding on this wall, so you don't want to take up all our bonding space. And it's literally just to hold them in place. Okay, I'll seal the back, and then we're ready to bond it into place. Goes that way. There we go, there, and it should fit that box lovely. Well, it's the first time I've come to this stage of the video in the aft, and we've made a big dent. There has been other stuff going on as well. Helm panel, due its last coat, galley panel, due its last coat. So yeah, there's some finishing stuff happening. This is actually wide. That will become boarded, and we'll get that veneered ready. And yeah, we're moving. Anyway, as always, thanks for your time, thanks for your views and all your subscriptions. Really do appreciate all of you. You make the channel, you keep me going with this, and I do appreciate all your comments and your likes and everything else. And Take care of yourselves, have a great week, and I'll see you soon.